Hello there, thanks for joining me this Wednesday evening on 7 Edition. I'm Azlina Najri and these are tonight's headlines. 50 men paid 150,000 ringgit to encroach temple, says Tan Sri Muhyiddin. Okay, so one city development in Berhad has denied that it hired a group of men to trigger a riot at the Sri Maha Mariamman Temple in USJ 25 Putra Heights on Monday. Now, the company said its personnel were there to ensure that the temple's relocation was done in an orderly manner. This came in response to an earlier statement that police investigations have revealed that 150,000 ringgit was paid to the leader of a group that broke into the temple. Home Minister Tan Sri Muhyiddin Yassin said that this was some of the information gathered by police following the arrest of 21 people, including two One City Development Sdn Berhad lawyers, to assist in their probe.
Tan Sri Muhyiddin said some 50 people were hired for the job, with each receiving payment between 150 and 300 ringgit.
Tindakan menceroboh yang amat tidak bertanggungjawab dan menyalahi undang-undang ini telah menimbulkan kemarahan penganut agama Hindu yang berada di kawasan kejadian sehingga menimbulkan kekecohan, pergaduhan dan kerosakan harta benda. Saya amat kesal dengan tindakan gopoh dan cuai yang diambil oleh pihak yang berkaitan dengan syarikat pemaju yang jelas melanggar undang-undang. Sekiranya tindakan gopoh dan cuai ini tidak diambil, saya percaya insiden pergaduhan di antara kumpulan lelaki Melayu dan penganut agama Hindu di kuil Sri Mahariaman tidak akan berlaku.
The chaos was reported to have started early Monday morning with a fight between two groups, which resulted in 23 vehicles being torched. 17 people were detained by police afterwards, and of the 17, 6 suffered injuries, while a lance corporal who tried to break up the fight was also injured. Later the same night, a fire and rescue vehicle was also damaged and a firefighter injured, while a mob smashed glass panels of a building where the office of the developer who owns the land, the temple, is on. 4 others were also later picked up by police to assist in investigations.
Now, in the meantime, the remand order against 2 One Development Sdn Berhad or One City employers has been extended by 3 days until Saturday, now to facilitate investigation on the temple rioting. So Magistrate Noor Arifin Hisham issued the order against the 2 suspects, and one of whom is the company's legal advisor, as their remand expires at midnight today.
The 2 suspects were originally remanded for 2 days following a court order on Tuesday. Meanwhile, a 4-day remand order was also issued against 4 other individuals, aged between 20 and 40, for investigation on the same case. They were remanded under the Penal Code for offences including mischief by fire, rioting and criminal trespass. So far, 20 people have been remanded to facilitate investigation into the rioting incident at the temple and surrounding areas on Monday and Tuesday, during which a fireman was seriously injured.
Now on to the issue of the firefighter that was involved in the fracas. The Sri Maha Mariamman Temple Task Force claimed that Muhammad Adib Muhammad Qasim, who was critically injured, was not beaten up by rioters but actually hit by a fire engine.
Actually, what happened was he went and stood at the back of the fire brigade engine, and the fire brigade engine reversed so fast and hit him onto a car which was at the back. And the mob, the people who were there, they took him, they saved him and put him into a car and sent him to the hospital. We have video evidence here.
Lebam, accident lebam tak lebam nggak lepas accident? Memang lebam lah. Takkan manusia pukul.
Dia reverse banyak cepat. Very fast.
Video ada. Tengok sini, doktor cakap betul ke atau video ni betul? You tengok mata sendiri dan buat keputusan. Beritahu kepada orang ramai. Yang beramai, semua orang baik di Malaysia.
Based on the video clips, the temple task force claimed several individuals shouting that there was someone at the back, and their action to knock on the window of the vehicle was to warn about Muhammad Adib. The temple task force have sent the videos to the authorities and urged the police to investigate what actually took place that night. Previously, a spokesman with the Selangor Fire and Rescue Department said Muhammad Adib, who was sitting in the passenger seat, was dragged out of the vehicle before he was roughed up. Now, police have formed a special task force dedicated towards tracking down suspects involved in the riots. So, Inspector General of Police, Tan Sri Muhammad Fuzi Harun, said that the team from the Federal Police would assist the Selangor Contingent Police Headquarters in locating the people who had injured 2 civil staff during the incident.
Speaking at a press conference at the Kuala Lumpur Royal Malaysia Police College early today, he said the task force is also tracking down the group which rioted at One City shopping mall.
Kita sudah tubuhkan task force tentang perkara ini, diketuai oleh Datuk Seri Pengarah PJSJ, dan kita pun dah hantar tim daripada Bukit Aman untuk membantu Selangor bagi mengesan mereka-mereka yang terlibat, termasuk yang menyerang anggota bomba dan anggota kita lah yang cedera retak tangan dia dan sebagainya. Task force ni sedang melancarkan operasi lah pada ketika ini.
Tan Sri Muhammad Fuzi said the situation at the temple was under control on the 3rd day yesterday, despite attempts by a group of 50 to 100 people to create a commotion.
Now, the Selangor State Exco V. Ganapati Rao today apologized for blaming a Muslim group for the recent temple attack in Subang-Jaya. He explained that his remarks were based on what he saw in a video of the incident and were not meant to spark any religious sentiments.
Akhirnya saya membuat pendirian bahawa saya ingin minta maaf kalau ia telah menyinggung perasaan orang ramai. Bagaimanapun perlu diutarakan dalam hal ini, apa yang paling penting adalah jenayah itu jenayah. Tolong fikirkan, orang yang telah mencederakan anggota bomba itu patut dihukumi, patut diadili mengikut undang-undang.
Earlier, the Kemuning State Assemblyman in his Facebook post labelled the attackers in the rioting incident as a group of Muslims. His post had raised the ire of many people who heckled, chided and even cursed the Assemblyman in the comments section of his post. Now, still on the temple riot, the Communications and Multimedia Commission, MCMC, is getting evidence for action against the circulation of false information, stoking racial sensitivities over the riots. Now, Communications and Multimedia Minister Gobind Singh Dio also warned of stern action against the people who violated the law by circulating such messages on social media pertaining to the riots.
Laporan itu sedang dikumpul dan akan diberikan kepada saya secara terperinci oleh SKMM dalam masa yang terdekat.
Speaking to reporters at the Parliament lobby, he advised social media users yesterday to keep their emotions in check when making comments on the riots, as every citizen of the country has a role to play in ensuring that the issue is addressed in the best way possible. He also reminded that people should be careful when sharing comments on social media so as to avoid causing undesirable problems. Now, moving on to other news, a man accused of raping and murdering 11-month-old Nur Muazzara Ulfa Muhammad Zainal has been sentenced to 20 years jail and 12 strokes of the rotan. Judge Datin Surita Budin delivered the verdict against Hazmi Majid after he pleaded guilty to 2 counts of inserting an object into the victim's genitals and anus. Now, the 36-year-old barber was sentenced to 20 years jail with 6 strokes of the rotan for each charge. However, the court allowed the sentence to run concurrently, starting from the date the accused was arrested on November 9th. Hazmi, who is the husband of the babysitter involved in the incident, was sent to the Kajang prison to serve his sentence. On November 7th, Nur Muazzara was rushed to Serdang Hospital after she allegedly choked on a piece of apple. The infant died at the hospital 2 days later. A post-mortem revealed that Nur Muazzara had been subjected to physical and sexual abuse. She had fractures on the skull and a torn hymen. Now, 2 individuals were charged at the Ayakuro Magistrates Court with dishonest concealment of 350,000 ringgit belonging to a retired teacher in a Macau scam. Now, both claimed trial when the charge was read out separately before Magistrate Lee Kim Kiat.
24-year-old Mazlan Muharan was charged with dishonestly concealing the said amount, which belonged to Boy Pik Fong, aged 75, by depositing the money into his CIMB bank account, purportedly to settle a money laundering case which the elderly woman was allegedly involved in. The offence was allegedly committed at the public bank Jalan Laksmana branch on August 20th. Former factory worker Lim Siu Wai, aged 30, was charged with committing the same offence involving 320,000 ringgit belonging to Boy for the same purpose by depositing the money into her bank Riot account on August 23rd. Both the accused were charged under Section 424 of the Penal Code and faced an imprisonment for up to 5 years or with fine or both if found guilty. The court set bail at 10,000 ringgit for Mazlan and 5,000 ringgit for Lim and set January 8th for mention.
Now, over at the Sessions Court, a retired soldier was fined 10,000 ringgit in lieu of 2 months jail and placed on a 2-year good behaviour bond for abusing his disabled son. Judge Elizabeth Paya Mwan meted out the sentence after the man pleaded guilty to the charge. The 48-year-old man was charged with abusing the 11-year-old boy by knocking the child's head and face against the wall at Bukit Katil, Melaka on May 2nd. He was charged under the Child Act, which provides an imprisonment for up to 20 years or maximum fine of 50,000 ringgit or both, and placed on good behaviour bond if found guilty. Prosecutor Mazwin Hashim requested a punishment that would serve as a lesson to others. In mitigation, the retired soldier, a father of 5, admitted his mistakes but added that his actions was merely to teach his son, who is the youngest in the family, a lesson and not to hurt him. A car washer was sentenced to death by hanging by the Johor Bahru High Court after he was found guilty of drug trafficking 2 years ago. Judge Colin Lawrence Sakira handed down the sentence on 44-year-old S. Sata Sivam after the defence failed to raise reasonable doubt in the case. In passing the death penalty, he said the court found no factor on the evidence by the accused that met the compulsory condition for amendments made on the punishment under Section 39B of the Dangerous Drugs Act. Sata Sivam was charged with distributing 99.16 grams of methamphetamine in a room on the upper floor of a coffee shop at Jalan Meldrum, Johor Bahru on September 9, 2016. The charge under the Dangerous Drugs Act provides the mandatory death penalty upon conviction. Okay, now the news. The scheduled salary deductions for National Higher Education Fund Corporation, PTPTN, recipients earning a monthly salary of 2,000 and above will start from January next year. Education Minister Dr. Mazli Malik said the decision to revise the threshold was decided by the Cabinet.
Kabinet juga telah bersetuju bahawa dikecualikan pembayaran bagi mereka yang mendapat first class honour daripada asalnya cadangan B40. Saya telah cuba perjuangkan bersama dengan Syed Saddiq di Kabinet untuk dimasukkan juga F40 dan akhirnya Kabinet telah bersetuju dan ini yang terbaik kami cuba lakukan, tetapi ini bukanlah pengakhiran. Apabila keadaan kewangan pulih, kita akan cuba pastikan janji yang diberikan untuk kita tepati.
He added the Cabinet has decided to revise the threshold from 1,000 to 2,000 ringgit with a minimum deduction of 40 ringgit a month. In the 2019 budget tabled earlier this month, the government announced a scheduled repayment scheme of between 2 and 15% of the borrower's monthly income, applicable to those earning more than 1,000 ringgit each month. However, this led to a group of students staging a protest, demanding the government to set the requirements for the education loan repayment for those with a monthly earning of 4,000 ringgit and above. Now coming up, Slipperman celebrated for his bravery. Details next. Don't go away. Thanks for staying with us. Now, the government is set to announce two key frameworks on cryptocurrency and property crowdfunding regulations in the first quarter of next year. Finance Minister Lim Guan Eng said his ministry would be the coordinating body for the cryptocurrency framework with the Securities Commission, SC, and Bank Negara Malaysia, BNM.
Wait until the first quarter. So if you make all these announcements when the framework, the regulatory framework has not been announced yet, I think it's premature, and you will not be able to put it out in the market. So I'd like to stress again that if there's any suggestions, please refer to either the SC or the Bank Negara.
Lim was met after delivering a keynote address at the Synergistic Collaborations by SC FinTech Conference 2018. The regulations for digital assets or cryptocurrency exchanges and initial coin offerings will come into force as part of SC's effort to facilitate alternative fundraising avenues and new investment asset classes. He added interested parties, including the proposed Harapan Coin cryptocurrency, must work within the framework, which was jointly set up by the BNM and the SC. Meanwhile, the SC has completed the first draft of the property crowdfunding framework. The Commission is now engaging with industry players to make sure the framework safeguards homebuyers' interests.
We are looking at everything. We are looking at the whole entire thing from the guidelines point of view to ensure that investors are protected. That is our prime concern.
He said the framework should also accommodate the new digital requirements and be open to all companies and individuals to take part, not just one single entity. Now, FGV Holding Berhad posted a net loss of 849.26 million ringgit in the third quarter ended September 30th, compared with a net profit of 41.53 million ringgit recorded in the corresponding period last year. In a filing to Bursa Malaysia, the plantation company said its revenue fell to 3.19 billion from 4.14 billion ringgit previously. FGV also incurred a significant loss before zakat and taxation of 911.15 million ringgit in the current quarter under review. This was mainly attributed to losses incurred in the plantation sector, which was associated with lower average crude palm oil, CPO price, and higher share of loss from joint ventures. Average CPO price dropped from 2,820 ringgit to 2,371 ringgit per tonne in 2018. Now let's head into our daily segment, Clickbait, where we take a look at what's trending and making rounds on the internet today. So the future of parking is here. Parking tickets might just be a thing of the past the next time you visit this highly popular mall in Malaysia. Now, just yesterday, Sunway Pyramid announced on its Facebook page the company's plan to roll out a new parking system that allows customers to enter the mall's car park without taking a ticket. So far, the post has garnered over 63,000 views and climbing.
In the post, Sunway has declared that visitors can enter and exit the car park by simply scanning the vehicle's license plate. Although the payment mode has yet to be revealed, this method aims to improve the traffic flow as you can bid farewell to long queues at auto-pay stations and slow traffic at the entrance and exit of the car park. However, there are some concerned netizens who pointed out that the system might work in favour for car thieves, as they could easily drive out of the mall without the parking ticket required. Addressing to the issue, Sunway said the system is currently being tested out to tackle such situations to further avoid any loophole to be exploited. Now let's hope the system, if proven beneficial, will be the next big thing for other Malaysian malls.
Now, a man in the Philippines is being hailed as a hero after he managed to put out a fire with merely his slippers. A Facebook user, Ron by Bongkayao Moncada, posted the man's heroic act on Saturday, and the video has garnered over 3 million views since. So the Superman, who's been identified as Giovanni Ladano Castanaras, was seen fearlessly approaching an electrical outlet which had sparked a fire before putting it out in the SM Ecoland Annex Mall in Davao. Miraculously, his plan, which involved throwing his pair of slippers at the fire, worked perfectly as the small inferno was immediately put out, preventing it from spreading and causing further damage. Castanares' heroic act earned him the nickname Superman and Slipperman from adoring netizens. Well, I guess it's true that people say that not all heroes wear capes. Now, updated as of 7 p.m, here are the top trending topics and searches on the internet today.